Hey guys, Jay and Gray here. I was just telling my wife, I said, we're a good looking couple. Well,
Gotta
at least
cut
one
that.
of us
You
is.
gotta cut that.
Anyway,
Cut it.
hey guys. Okay, Jay and Gray here. And
Hi.
hey, just acting crazy. You know, I do that. Just like to get my wife laughing because I love to hear her laugh. Okay, well, we just wanted to do our debut video together because we are in this business together, and it's all about that, doing the teamwork thing. And one of the things that we really wanted to talk about is, well, for one, to welcome you to the business, okay? Because it is it's very gratifying, and everybody gets something different out of it. Like I get something different than my wife does out of it. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, see, she agrees. So, anyway, moving forward, there's a couple of things that you need to know. Okay, now, I am guilty of this myself. So, I already had the mirror to my face as I'm talking to you about this. Okay, and yeah, right, and that is not following the program the way that it's supposed to be followed. Okay, it doesn't matter how much you know. Okay, doesn't matter what your background is. Trust me on this. Go through the program the way that they encourage you to go through it, and that is following the 8 core commitments, blogging daily, telling others, and picking up a check. Now, quick income disclaimer. Everybody does not make money in this business, and there are a boatload of people who make a bunch of money in this business. It just depends on where you're at, what you're committed to, and how well you apply the principles and the information that's in there.
And how well do you follow instructions?
Yes, exactly. I mean, and a big exactly on that one. Okay, and of course, we're a husband and wife team. And so if you're a husband and wife team and you're wondering what kind of business can you get in together, this is definitely one that is an awesome thing for a husband and wife team. Okay. One of the things is that you get to grow closer together as a couple because you get to do this business, and it's different than your other businesses. It really is, because you are able to talk about the things that you love, the things that you are passionate about, or the things that you're learning about, which is really cool. I mean, how cool is that? You'll be seeing me go through different lessons of learning new languages and looking and sounding all kind of ways. Yes. That, may not necessarily be the most favorable thing for a person who's learning, but, for me, it's very liberating because here it is. I'm able to chart my progress in a public forum and encourage others who would not necessarily try the same thing because they just are afraid of failing. Okay. In this business, you get very comfortable with the fact that, yes, you will fall on your face here and there. That's not failing, though. Failing only occurs when you give up. We're not giving up.
When you don't get up.
Yeah. You got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get over your fear of jumping online, hitting the digital world. Because really, if you are, if you're, I don't want to say stuck in a job, but if you're stuck in a job and you are not quite sure what the end result of that job is, there may be some things that will just downright shock you. I mean, we've got a few friends, actually quite a few friends, who have been downsized, and unfortunately, they really didn't know what else they could do. We've got friends who have been searching for work for over a year. I mean, with the economy being the way that it is. And we decided to get out of that mindset, earlier on this year. Now, those of you who know us know that, I went through my own near-death experience earlier this year. And for me, that kind of was a wake-up call for me. And it allowed me to say, you know what? We really need to have something that is not contingent upon closing a contract, getting a client, or whatever. My wife, she's a medical professional. I'll let her tell you about that. But again, the things that you do in a 9 to 5 should not be because you have to. It should be because you just enjoy it. She happens to enjoy what she does. Okay? But we are not focused on looking at that as the only way to derive income. So we got into this platform with with our business here, and we blog. That's one of our income generating activities is blogging and letting other people know about it. Okay, now me, I'm used to it because I've written for some publications for years, over 5 years. So I'm kind of used to the routine of writing things on a regular basis. And so the thing is that you've got to get over your fears. Now I'm going to let Gray talk about that, in relation to her experience coming into our business. All right, hon, you're up.
Like my husband said, I'm a nurse, and I've been a nurse for over a decade. And I really love what I do. I love helping people. It's really my passion. But it has come, to the point where I want to spend more time with my family. And the schedule I have is really, I work 12-hour shifts. So basically I'm gone from 7 in the evening until 7:30 in the morning. So by the time I get in, I'm tired, and then I sleep. And so I do that 3 days a week, and I have 4 days off. But those 4 days are not all together. They are 2 days here, 1 day here. So it's really taxing on the body. So needless to say, this year, as my husband said, we started looking at things, and I really wanted to do something different, something where I can have more time to spend with my family, so that I'm not like, it's not where I have to depend on those 12 hours that I have to go in order to feed our family or take a vacation, or not able to go somewhere because my schedule is so tight. I have to be on the job. So those are some of the freedoms I wanted to do. I wanted to see our kids grow up and just be able to pick up and say, okay, today we want to go here, but not to have to say, well, I have to check in with my boss. So those are some of the motivations that I've had, and that I've wanted to make that change. And but I also believe that this is really perfect for nurses and medical people across the board. For those who say, no, I don't want to give up my job. You can still do it. You can choose to do it per diem, part-time. You can set your hours, but you don't have to say, well, what's going to happen to the rest of money I've been bringing in now that I don't have this extra income coming in. But here you have a platform. You can decide and say, okay, I just want to work 1 day a month. I want to work 2 days a month, and still have this income coming in, and you can do things that you enjoy doing. As you gain that time back that you have, the sky is the limit. You can just pretty much, it's a blank. You can fill in whatever you want to fill in. That's what we're experiencing in our family, is that we want to enjoy our marriage, our family. Not that we didn't enjoy them before, but we want to take them to a next level.
Right.
We want to see our kids grow. We want to be able to just pick up and go whenever we choose to. Yeah.
And my background is media planning, and so I was quite familiar with the social media scape and all of the things that the platforms had to offer. However, coming into this particular business, the model was different. And if you're a marketer or a social media marketer, social media expert or whatever, that the general rule is that you have a certain amount. It's like a formula that you kind of adhere to, and really it's quite different. I mean, when it comes to the touches, the amount of times that you communicate with a person in a given day. I mean, we may communicate more than once in a day. It may be more than one thing that goes into, our community's inboxes and their email addresses, or, pops onto their phone. And we're just saying, hey, just, wanted to give you a shout out, and we're, we saw something valuable for you, thought that you'd want to check it out. Here's a link. And then we pop that link to them. And the basic thing here is that our desire and the desire of the folks inside of the same business, our other business partners, are to help you help yourself. Okay, it's about growing as a community, growing as an individual, growing as a business, so that you can better serve your marketplace. And you can't do that when you have the wrong platform, the wrong foundation. set up. When you don't have the right information, then you kind of approach your marketplace from either antiquated or outdated scenarios. You don't approach them from what is working right now. Inside of our business plan, we are constantly having our information upgraded by folks who are making millions of dollars, millions of dollars inside of the industry. And so, long and short, it is the best plan, the best business plan that I have seen thus far. It pays 100% commission, and so we've experienced that already. And, you've got your residual income thing set up. I mean, there's a lot of things that it has in there, but I think the most important thing out of all of it, aside from all the money and stuff, okay, forget about the money. I mean, don't forget about the money, but you know what I mean. Forget about the money. The most important thing I would say is the self-development. Yeah, self-discovery and getting really clear on what it is that you're doing and why. And then the fact that we're able to work this as a couple, because we really enjoyed the time that we spend together. But before, I used to spend 20 hours a day easily. Sometimes I would go 48 hours just working if I was working on a client project or something, or one of our own projects that we wanted to get off the ground. And it was like, okay, a lot of backbreaking, mind-bending work. And not that you don't have to work inside of this business model, you do, but you do smart work. You leverage time, you leverage resources, you leverage energy, you leverage income. It's about leverage and getting out there. Yeah. So, I'm going to ask my wife real quick, I'm putting her on the spot because I haven't asked her this question before. But okay, now, when you got involved with this, because, I was already kind of going that direction, but when you got involved with it, what was your initial thought?
I had some fears because, I've been in this industry for so long. I know it like the back of my head.
Right.
So.
And you're talking about the medical industry. When you say
medical
that.
industry,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So here it is, deciding to go out of that and really learning the media part of it, the social part of it. It was really, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It's really a learning curve, but nevertheless, I'm not allowing that to stop me. I'm very encouraged, and I'm willing to take that learning curve.
Okay, what was it like when you shot your first video? Because, by the way, she did that unbeknownst to me. I knew she was going to shoot a video, but she went ahead and just shot it herself, with her iPhone, and it was good. And I was like, maybe I should have been taking lessons from you, because it took me years before I can get that comfortable in front of the camera to be able to speak like that.
It was a little scary. At first my heart was like pounding, like, okay, what are you gonna say? And then I just remembered, just be authentic, just speak from your heart. And so that's what I followed. And I said, well, it doesn't matter how it's gonna get out, come out. If it comes out that I botched it, oh well, then I will get up and shoot another one.
Right.
But before I did it, it was, I had a lot of fear. It's like, how am I gonna sound? Because I'm not camera ready like you are. You can just pop it on and just start speaking. For me, before I was more like a background person. Nurses, we don't tape ourselves when we're working.
Right.
Or tape all the wonderful things we do.
Like, just use that catheter right there. Okay, get a close up on that. Okay.
We do a lot, but we don't capture it on video. So coming out of that, in a way I can say it's freeing. Because it's enabling me to get out of my shell and to allow people to come into my life and get to know who I am.
Yeah, I'd have to say that is quite liberating because, we tend to be a very private family. So, doing these videos, it's like, okay, we're kind of like out there now, big time. And it actually has gotten quite fun. So, I would say, look, get out of your own way, have fun with it, grow your business, get involved at all the levels. For us, when we got all in, it was an amazing thing because it solidified the commitment for one, but it really, I don't know, something internally happened for me.
Yeah.
How about you too? Yeah.
Oh, I can say, personally, I have a personal testimony about that.
Right.
Because, for instance, when we went to our bank to get our check so we can, do the transaction,
I love making bank runs.
we found it's a bank that we usually go to, and God impressed us to go to that bank that particular day, and so because it was such an important transaction, so we get there, and my husband had called ahead of time, to just allow one of
Grease the palms a little.
the person that we deal with as to what was going to take place. Basically, she's like, okay, go ahead and send her in. So I get there, and I hand her the check, and she's like, okay, well, I need to verify the funds. So she's calling different people, and so finally she calls the bank. Our bank was in the East Coast, and so of course they already closed. So she's like, she's like, well, I'll have to verify tomorrow. I said,
Right.
okay. She's like, well, are you able to come back tomorrow? I said, sure. I mean, it's important enough for us. Yeah, sure. We'll drive 50 miles to do this
a
transaction.
little bit more than 50, but
I'm sure.
mhm.
So then she's like, but hold on, just a minute. So she goes and she talks to her manager and she tells her the situation. She's like, yeah, because of our relationship with them, just go ahead and do it, and we will, verify it in the morning.
That's the importance of a good relationship.
And so when she came, she's like, okay, so I'm not going to put a 2-day hold on it, which they would usually do. Is common practice. But because of your relationship with us, we've been with you for, quite some time, we're going to lift the hold, and so it'll be available. So my thing, the nurse and me, I'm like, okay, so let me clarify.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to put it in, you won't put the hold, but tomorrow you'll call and verify, and then you'll give me a call. She said, no, the funds are ready right now. You can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. I mean, I wanted shout for joy. I mean, inside of me, I was shouting. I was like, oh, hallelujah, what a testimony, to see that we were able to do that day after we left the bank. We went ahead and we got all in.
And let me kind of jump in on that for a second, because what we noticed is that after we did all that was necessary, everything in our power in order to complete, our process, our commitment, then that's when doors started really flying open for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, because here it is, we now are dealing with a banking situation, and it's like, by all rights, they shouldn't have really, they didn't have to do that, right? But for one, we had a great relationship with them, and so it is very important to always keep great relationships. Never burn up your bridges and things like that, because that's just crazy anyway. But on top of that, the fact that we were able to get over there when we did, we ran into a boatload of traffic, okay, on our way over there, and just all of the little, insignificant things that were like, okay, do you really want this? Are you really going for it? Are you really going to do it?
The little foxes.
Yeah, the little foxes. Yeah, that's right. We call it the little foxes in our house, right? And it's like, so are you going to let the little challenges of your life keep you from your destiny? Or are you going to push forward and say, no, this is what it is? We were clear. We were clear on what it is that we wanted, what it is that we were dedicated to getting. And so we just pressed on. And we said, okay, this is going to happen. And it's funny because we talked to our business partner, Jason Robles, the week before, and we're like, okay, look, we're doing it, right? And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, we're doing it. And so then all of the challenges that popped up from the time that we told him until we actually completed the process, it was actually quite hilarious. But we were settled inside. It was like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. And it's time. It's time. We determined that we were going to take our lives back in 2013. I'm not going to work the 20 hours. I've stopped working the 20-hour plus days. My wife is like, okay, I'm making my transition too. And so it was just something that we were both on the same page with, and we decided to move forward with as a team. So that's probably one of the more important lessons there, is just being together on the whole process, and then supporting each other in the areas that we need to support in, and our support looks like this. Go look at the 8 core commitments. Go listen to the audio. plug the audio in. So we have the audio on both of our phones,
Yep.
and we listen to that. We're not sitting there listening to radio all day. We don't sit and, plug up our minds with garbage TV. We're like, okay, let me see. Isn't there some training or something that we need to be doing right now? Because we're about bettering ourselves so that with our kids, they don't have to go through the learning curve that we're going through right now. They don't have to undo negative programming. They can get the right information right now, and they could actually see it lived out in the lives of their parents, so they know this is how life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be the 9-to-5 slavery. It's not supposed to be that. It's not supposed to be work yourself into an early grave. It's not supposed to be that either. And it's not supposed to be, well, I would love to be able to do this, but I just simply can't. I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, I don't have the time to do it because my time is owned by somebody else. My resources are owned by somebody else, and I've got to trade my life away, bits and pieces of my life away in order to get, access to that, to those funds or the resources. And then I have to piece it out, week at a time. Like if I have a vacation that I want to go on, well, I can only go for about a week or 10 days because I've got to be back to work, as opposed to 3 months or 6 months like some of our friends are doing. It's like, so you took a 6-month vacation? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, so that's always been attractive to me. And I've seen my grandfather, he worked all his life, at one point he had 5 jobs. And once he retired and finally moved out to where he wanted to move out to in California, 5 months later, he was dead, massive heart attack, And so I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be me. Yeah. That's not going to be me. And I don't want that to be my family. So we said we have to do something different. Because other than that, they're not going to know how to escape the matrix, if you will. So, we've escaped. Now, it's your turn. Click the link below. Click the link below. Trust me on this. As a matter of fact, don't trust me. Click the link and see what I'm talking about. Because once you get in there, right now, it may be kind of early for you in your mindset. Because if you are used to have somebody else owning your time, owning your resources, owning your energy, owning your life, it's going to take a little moment for you to unlearn that pattern, So click the link, start getting yourself saturated with the training in there, and start seeing the stories. Get on the calls every week. Start seeing the stories of folks whose lives have dramatically changed for the better, transformed, Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have to say. Honey, did you have anything else to say?
No. All I can say is our lives have been changed.
Yeah. They have. So click that link and we will see you on the inside. And, we look forward to being a part of your community and you being a part of our community and watching your lives transform and grow and prosper also.
Yeah.
All right. See you in there.
Okay.